I've got a special treat today. I am going to do an unboxing of a deck that is 7 years old and it only came to my collection this week and I've used it. It is the Linestrider Tarot deck. It comes in a magnificent storage box, magnetic clip. I've taken the cards out of this obviously. The cards are a fantastic size for shuffling. Now if you like star signs, astrology, you'll love this deck. She even makes mention of, well, I'm assuming it's a she even makes mention of Linda Goodman. Does anybody remember her, where she was doing the star signs? So very interesting deck. I'm still finding my way through it, but I wanted to show it off because it is bloody good quality. It says here at the reverse, dance between two worlds to find the answers you seek. Spun with soft strokes of vibrant colour and intricate detail, the Linestrider Tarot features gentle yet evocative images that dance on the edge between magic and logic with grace and innovation. And I don't know whether I'm pronouncing her name correctly. Siolo? Thompson's captivating minimalist art will enhance your readings in powerful and profound ways. Line striding is about walking into two worlds, 1 foot in each to discover guidance, drawing inspiration from the edge while still moving forward on the fool's journey. This Rider-Waite Smith-based deck, it is based on it, but for me, when we look through it, it is not like the Rider-Waite Smith other decks that I have, like the Blooming Cat Oracle or the Unicorn Tarot deck. I feel like it's very unique in its artistry. So you don't automatically pull a card and know what it is. You know, you have to read what it is. So it is beautiful. It says, uncover the answers you seek about health, love, career, and more. On the reverse of this deck, it says that it is $29.99 US. As I said, I don't think I own any Llewellyn decks, probably because I've looked into them and they're quite expensive, the shipping for Australia, but perhaps secondhand, perhaps on, you know, getting them on Kickstarter prior to the artist releasing them, or maybe in bookshops. So that is the box. Now, the deck itself, let's get into the deck. I might have to put the cards in here. Oh, before I even get to the deck, now this is why, the book. And we have a massive book. Now you guys know I'm a big fan of, oh, look at this little page there, big fan of books with the tarot. You learn so much from the tarot, especially when we have an artist and their interpretation comes through the artwork. They understand tarot. It's really, I think, special for me when I buy a deck and I know I can learn something firstly, and secondly I go, this artist knows tarot. They haven't just done this for money, or they've got a passion for tarot. They understand it. So let's go through the book, because I feel like this is very important if you're looking at purchasing this deck, and if you're like me, like to learn about it. As I said, this is the 5th edition that I've got. It was first printed in 2016. This is the 2019 edition that I have, and Llewellyn Publications does it. It discusses about the deck. It discusses about her influence on the deck. So she's got here the Linda Goodman star sign. So you have got the astrology part here. She talks about handling the deck. You know, some people don't like people touching their cards. Some people do. So she really has covered everything, reading the cards. She talks about the aces. She talks about the tower trumping all. She talks about the reversed card, and she talks about how she pulls her cards, the contents, past, present, and future. But the actual, also too, she talks about the major arcana, how they are linked into the astrology, each signs. And this is the juicy part, the major arcana cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up each card and discuss it as she has. So this might be a very lengthy video. Hopefully it will fit on my phone, because I feel like it's important. I feel like this is what really adds value to this deck. So let me put this book down. I just want to make sure that it goes through all the cards. Make sure that, look at this, someone's got, as I said, bought this secondhand. Someone pulled the 9 of Pentacles on the 8th of December 2020. So she has got other tarot decks, and I will put them up on the screen now in case you have them. She has done another tarot deck. Maybe she's done more since I've read up on her. She's also got oracle decks. So if you like this artwork, you may wish to check her out. So let's pull up each card deck. I'm going to put them in the bowl here. I haven't got my stand here. So obviously we're going to start with the Fool. And the Fool is about, don't ignore my fingers as well. I've been under a bit of stress lately. So the Fool is about idealism, new adventures, innocence, decisions, spontaneity, risk-taking, openness to new experiences. Now, she hasn't coloured the Fool in. So it sort of reminds me of we're able to make our own colour. You know, this is what this is. The Fool's not related to any astrology sign, and the numbers are 0, 22, 33. And she also talks about plants associated with this card. So she's got ginseng, cedar, rose, geranium. And as I said, the book also talks about reversals. Some books don't, you know, and I feel like I used to not be one that used to talk about or read reversals, but the longer and the more that I'm digging into tarot, I feel that they add another layer to your readings. So the reversal of the Fool is irresponsibility, mad projects and recklessness. So that is the Fool. So I'll keep going with them. The Magician, here he reminds me of, he's about to make something here, you know. For me, he looks like he's fishing, but for me, he looks like he's got a needle and thread. You know, he's ready to make something. I don't know how. I don't think the card itself talks about the artist, what she's done or what she's preferred, but what do you see here with the monkey here? For me, it looks like a thread in the needle about to make something, and you know, they've got the concoction there. So the card itself is about concentration, focus, goal attainment, learning, study, communication and transformation. And reversed, it's the blocking your creative energy. Now, the booklet itself, and I said, you know, we'll dive a bit deeper in it, but obviously not so this video lasts for hours. The booklet itself is quite deep, and this is what I really enjoyed reading about the booklet, because she talks about why you would get this card, but she also talks about cards that it could possibly be paired with. So she gives you card combinations with, and anyone who's seen me go live, you normally see me pull 1, 2 and 3 cards for a reading. So it gives a big layer. It's not just the meaning of this card, it's the meaning of combined cards. So for instance, she says, paired with the Strong Pentacles card, you may find suddenly that you have increased aptitude in financial matters. So as I said, it's very good. This one here looks very cultural, the High Priestess, intuition. It's related to Virgo and Cancer. Reversed is about disconnection from intuition. It's just beautiful, isn't it? The Empress, can't show this card on TikTok, they will ban you. Showing a bit of breast there, and you got the Empress leaning on a leopard or a tiger here, about passion, fertility, and she's got in her back there, would you say a lemma? I don't know. This relates to Libra, number 3. So it's beautiful. It's, you know, it's really about be aware of people expressing their feelings. I feel like I was a bit of the Empress yesterday, expressing my feelings, letting it all out. The Emperor, I feel like I'm married to an emperor, somebody who's very disciplined and structured. So the Emperor's, you know, pretty strong and dominating. Male, reversed, it's about abuse of power. And as I said, she does talk about pairing cards, and this is related to Aries and Scorpio. So the booklet, as I said, it's got a big scope on it, you know, for learning. You can buy tarot books, but sometimes for me, they go too much historically into the card, and I'm not there yet. You know, I may be one day, maybe I'm not. I'm not one that wants to know about why is this painted this way and how come and what does it mean, because I feel like I get into my head too much and not into my intuition. I like to read more intuitively. So here we've got the Chariot. Look at that. You've got the 6-9 down the bottom. This is for Cancer and Sagittarius, but it's a very beautiful deck, but one, as I said, it hasn't got the typical Rider-Waite-Smith illustrations. But here, I'm telling a lie here, because here you got the lady with the lion with the strength card. So what do you think so far? You know, it is beautiful, but I feel like, for me, this is a beginner's deck too. For me, the booklet itself, it talks about the keywords. It talks about the card itself. It talks about how it can be representative if you're pulling this deck and you're the actual person. It talks about the astrology signs. It talks about the number. It talks about the associated plants. There's the Wheel of Fortune. So, you know, it's a very good deck, very light. I'm a big one for actually white cards. I don't know about you. I have had a deck that was black cards. I prefer this simplistic, bright, light approach. And I do have this attraction to watercolored, and I do have this attraction to lighter colors, even though I've got other cards that are a bit bright. Like, I mean, you could say the Death card is quite bright. Change, transformation, renewal. The Death card. And what does she say here about pairings? Let's look in here. Death reversed reflects a resistance to change. Examine your relationships if it's reversed. And what does she say? She says, though, letting go. Oh, she doesn't have any pairings with this one. She says affirmation. It's often misunderstood. It's a dreaded card. Maybe you got divorced. Be honest. Doesn't have, that one hasn't got what she's pairing it with. The Temperance, the Balance card. Sometimes when we see this reversed, it's something that is out of balance. So she's got astrology, Taurus, Sagittarian, Scorpio. And she says, you know, if the devil shows up with the Temperance, be especially careful of addictive behaviours in yourself or those close to you. And we've got the Devil card next. I love how she speaks about the pairings with the Devil card here. You know, she does talk about the devil. You could be the scapegoat, but she says if it's with the Fool, I really like the take on this. And this is what I'm saying about the book you can learn. I like the way she has the take with the Fool here, and it indicates what can be a carefree behaviour. With the Devil and the Fool, it can actually lead us towards debt, addiction, or personal ruin. So it's giving us a warning if something is of fun, you know, it's going to have a negative aspect in our life. The Tower card, to me, the Tower card here, the way it's painted is very Japanese style for me. It just reminds me of Japan. The Star to me is all about hope and faith. But when I look at this card, I think of the old-fashioned beggar. You know, it just reminds me of that. So it's funny how I should actually talk about the reverse of this deck. It is like an ink blot, you know, and for those that are young, I don't know whether you know about the ink blot, but when I was growing up, there were a lot, you used to see them on TV shows and that. They were used for psychologists about what do you see in this card, and it's about how to get somebody's mindset. So it's interesting how some of these cards can be seen in this way as well. And the Moon has the dog here and the wolf and the crab. The Sun card is interesting how she's depicted this. What do you make of this? Like, I know it's like a sunflower, but what do you make of it? To me, it reminds me of seeing how people tattoo themselves. I know that there's something going around in art fairs and whatnot where they put their hand in dye and they come out and their arm is covered like this, tattooed in beautiful bright colours. So interesting take on this one. The Judgment card, she's got the face there covering her face. It's about awakening. What does she say about the Judgment? See, here we go. Interesting combinations that manifest with the Judgment card. When Judgment and the Lovers or the Two of Cups come together, it's a relationship or partnership that has potential. So that's what I'm saying. It's a very, very good, I feel like it's a very good beginner's deck. I feel like it's a very good advanced deck. For me, I know I'm one that opens the deck up live, and here comes the cups now. I open the deck live and I go straight into it. You know, I don't like to look at the cards. This is the first time I've actually opened up and went through each card by card as I do this video. Got lots of cats in this one so far. And I found it quite difficult at first because I couldn't gravitate or go towards the picture like straight away. But now that I'm utilizing it a lot more, I'm finding it a lot easier to use in the messages. But I am definitely using the guidebook with it because I'm finding I'm learning lots and lots more about the deck. I'm able to add more meanings to my readings because of the book that comes with this deck. And also, as I said, and I keep repeating myself about the card combination. It's interesting here, we've got the Five of Cups, focusing on the positive. Look at that, about the eggs. Very interesting. As I said, first time that I've looked at this deck so deeply. And it's interesting when we keep looking at a deck, this is the Romance card, we can see something, we can use a deck for years and years and years, and then 1 year later we go, oh my goodness, I never knew about this deck, that it has this. So it's interesting how we can see things sometimes, or a reading brings it out in us. This reminds me of James Van Bragh's got a deck called Talking to Heaven. It's got a male walking away, and it's a mediumship deck, and the deck itself, this card talks about, you know, this heaviness and sorrow, and it's interesting how this is about moving on, new way of thinking. Lovely card, this one, but look what the cat's got. The cat's got the bird, it's got the reward. So interesting take. And it's not dark. I mean, we can see the humor side of that. And then we've got this beautiful Ten of Cups, the birds here. They survived, the happiness, the prosperity. So then we've got the Page of Cups here. Done some beautiful readings with the Page of Cups. I just had to get the reading out again. The Page of Cups that I used for this deck, or for this reading when I was live, was you're going to receive a message. That's what this card is basically about. But the reading itself was, no one's going to do you any favors. You know, you have to chase your dreams yourself. Go out and get it yourself. Don't sit on your hands. Put in the work yourself. That's what I got about this Page of Cups for the reading. Like it was about there's better days. And it's interesting how this cup is about turning inward, new projects. So perhaps they've tried to escape. You know, perhaps they've tried to escape. Escapism. So that was my take on the Page of Cups with the reading. The Knight of Cups here. This is a beautiful card, don't you think? This is also on the cover of the box. Beautiful. King of Cups. Again, we've got this unfinished artwork, you know, not incomplete. So it's allowing our mind to sort of fill in the gaps, isn't it? Then we're up to the Wands. I like the Two of Wands. Three of Wands. This is another one, beautiful one. Four of Wands. Chasing, going in circles. So what do you think about this deck? You know, as I said, it's a hard one to grasp. I love the way it shuffles. It's a really nice, I'm beginning to the more and more I'm getting into tarot and the more I'm reading, I'm realizing that size to me does matter. I like the smaller decks. I do, I like the smaller decks. And I like a deck that has a good guidebook. So it's interesting, the more you utilize and the more that you learn tarot and the more that you stick with the deck, the more that you can grow with it. So I am decluttering my collection. For those that don't know, I am decluttering. You will see videos pop up where I'll talk about how my collection is, where it is at the moment, what have I used, what have I got rid of, and the reasoning behind it. To me, I would love to just work with one deck. That would be my ultimate dream, to really work on one deck and really be like a gypsy, you know, have a real tattered card deck. It's funny, when I first started reading, I wanted my cards to all be pristine and new and clean, but to me, it's like a badge of honor now, utilizing a deck and having it dog-eared, because it makes me realize how many readings I've done and how many messages from spirit and how much my intuition has perhaps helped somebody, and how many stories I've been able to tell by just maybe pulling out this card and utilizing it and having it come up 100 times. So it's interesting. There we go. We've got the Ace of Swords, the truth, clarity and vision. Interesting, because this card can be very deep. Can be very deep. You know, when this is combined with the Hermit, it's indicating that you need to withdraw from the company and influence of others in order to help better understand and see your path forward, she says. Beautiful Two of Swords. I like this one. Three of Swords, the grief card. Someone, I mean, you know, you watch so many videos on YouTube about people unboxing and them showing off a deck and skimming. This is beautiful too. Look at this. And someone once said in the comments about the Three of Swords, they look at the deck and they go straight to that card to have a look at it and interpret it. But we generally don't see the Three of Swords any different. Normally it is a heart with the three swords in it. But for me, I'm, you know, like, as I was just thinking about this morning, the more and more I'm utilizing tarot, the more I'm realizing I don't have a favorite card. You know, I used to say very deep, oh, the Ten of Cups. But now I'm realizing, using the decks and doing so many readings, that each card can bring such a positive. Like, even though we had this Ten of Swords, which is, I mean, and I also did see somebody do a review of this, and someone put in the comments, I would never buy this deck because of the Ten of Swords in that way, you know, like it's about betrayal and hurt and ending, and because the artist has depicted it in such a way of something hunted like this. But any card can bring a great epiphany depending on what other card it is with, you know, like maybe that Ten of Swords, somebody needs to learn empathy, or, you know, maybe they need to learn not to fight. This is where their actions end up, you know, this is how they're hurting something. So, you know, when I read that comment, I went, you haven't really like dive deeper, you know, dive deep into your cards and think about it in a deeper manner. Like, just don't think about, oh yeah, it's a pretty bunny, wow, look at that, you know. Do some readings and really think about the deeper. So it's interesting how that Ten of Swords popped up at that particular time. The Three of Pentacles here is quite a deep card here. It's about teamwork, isn't it? The Four of Pentacles. So we've got, you know, a watercolor. We've got greys. Oops. We've got watercolor. We've got the greys. We've got the blues. We've got the yellows. We've got the greens used throughout. It has got a common theme of the blurred images. Wow, the Six of Pentacles. I love that. Generosity. Look at that. Seven of Pentacles. So yeah, what do you think about this linestrider death? To be honest, when I got it, I was like amazed. I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize it was going to be this good. I didn't realize that the booklet was going to be this in depth. Very nice, very blown away, to the point where I'll probably use this for a few months. As I said, I'm decluttering my collection, and I'll probably look into her next tarot deck. So hopefully it's still for sale. That's the problem, isn't it? Sometimes, you know, if we wait long enough, things are not on sale, but they always pop up. Things always pop up at the right time. Interesting how we've got this Knight of Pentacles. I just want to go back. Let me just put that to the side. Something that the Queen of Pentacles. And finally, we've got the King of Pentacles. He's come up in a reading. But I just want to go back and let's have a look at, see, this is what I'm saying about when you look through a deck for the first time. Aha, she's got the Knights. Interesting. I'd be really wanting to know about this. What do you think about this, my fellow tarot lovers? Okay, maybe not. Okay, it was interesting. I thought we were going to have a theme, but no, only on these two cards we've got it in circles. So I thought she was going to have it more like a medallion or a coin. So it's interesting. And as I said, the more we look at cards, when I look at this, I think of now somebody's left a coffee cup, you know, and he printed it on that. But that's the deck, you know, as I said, lovely deck. Let me know what you think. Shall we pull a card? Probably not. Oh, shall we pull a card? Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to pause it, come back, reshuffle, and let's pull a card and see what the message is. Oh, it's beautiful. I'm so glad I took the time to shuffle. The Sun card. The Sun. I feel like I have tears. I had a bit of a bad day yesterday. So the Sun's all about success, abundance, and fun. It's about positive energy. You know, we've got this heavy sunflower and it's dripping colourful goo. It's been fed on by little creatures. So it's interesting how the artist here wanted to depict this card in a way that we do shine a light on others. Yeah, I'm getting quite emotional actually. So it's interesting. I really need to hear this. So it's beautiful. It's just it's a positive card. It's a very positive card, and I needed to hear this message. So maybe you needed to hear about the Sun card as well, depicting happiness and abundance. And, you know, like, even though on our darkest days we can teach other people lessons, you know, even when we feel worn out, people can still learn from us and love us, even though we don't feel the happiness or the happiest that we can be. So that is the message there. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, where we talk tarot and all things. We do go live giving readings. Until next time.